It's the weekend, and so I'm doing a company review. Today, I'm going to talk about Rivian. So first, I'm going to go into the stockanalytics.com and check out the numbers and see if that can tell us anything about the company. Number one thing, market capitalization of 26 billion. Now, this company, when it first IPO'd, or I think in maybe November in 2021, something like that, it reached a high of, well, actually, we can check it out here. We don't have to guess. Let's do the 1 year. So 172 was the high November 16, 2021, and now it's trading at just a little bit below $30 for a decline of, I don't know, like 80-90% or something like that. So this company has seen quite the hit to its valuation. So I'm going to try to look at some other numbers and see if they can tell us a bit of a story about what's been happening here. So let's go to the financials. I always like to look at financials. I'm just going to skip to quarterly because it's a relatively new company. So it's not going to have that much data available. It looks like they're actually starting to make some kind of sales, I guess. I don't know, pre-sales, deals. I'm not sure where this revenue is coming from. I think they officially maybe launched the truck at the end of last year. But from what I understand, they're going to start rolling out these trucks in October, December 2022. I swear I've seen a couple of them on the road, though. So perhaps they're already out. They're just kind of trickling out. Now, operating income, this is kind of the big one here, is they're still, burning through a ton of cash, billions of dollars, I guess, to build out their company. Because it's a growth company, right? It's pretty early stage to me, honestly. This company went public. I mean, that's the trend, right? A lot of the companies go public without actually having the business fully built out and profitable and ready to scale yet. They just skip like the full build out and just go straight to the scaling. Right? They skip a bunch of steps nowadays. So that's how it works. Fortunately or unfortunately, I'm not sure if it's for the better or for the worse. So something interesting is that their shares outstanding has been just jumping around quite erratically. I'm not sure what that's about. I'm expecting a company like this to be selling shares into the open market to try to fund their endeavors. I think, they've reduced actually their share count by half since last quarter. I don't know what that's about. Maybe the information here is faulty. But I think the reason why they're not really selling shares is because they have a ton of cash. So if we go to the the balance sheet really, but this is a simplified version of the balance sheet, you see that they have $14.8 billion with a B, okay, in cash, basically they can use for whatever. So that's quite a large figure. And so they're not gonna need to sell shares, and they probably use some of the cash to reduce their share count because it's sold off so hard. But I don't know if that's a good move or not. We'll find out. You can see here the enterprise value is 11.24 billion, and market cap 26.06. The difference is that net cash. Now, obviously, the rest of the numbers are kind of meaningless to look at, including the price of sales, because they haven't really hit production yet. So some of the things that are going to matter for this company are a little bit of the big picture stuff, not so much the numbers. So the numbers doesn't really tell us anything. So I looked at the employee count. This is the employee count of Ford. But sorry, I thought it was the Rivian. I think Rivian has like 10,000 employees or something like that. Yeah, so they have 11.5 employees. But a company like Ford, which has many more products, has 183,000. So quite a bunch more employees. Now, this doesn't necessarily tell us that much in itself. I mean, a lot of it could be machinery and stuff like that, but it does give an indication of how far along the expansion process they are and how much capacity they have for additional production of more products. So another company that somewhat recently came out is Tesla, about 10 years ago or something like that. So it seems like their employee count is almost 100,000. So they have half the workforce of Ford, but yet they're basically pumping out, I don't know, as many or more vehicles. I'm not even sure, but they have quite the footprint now. It's not an insignificant footprint. But the employee count kind of tells you, like, if a company like Tesla is managing to run very efficiently, and they have 100,000, it just tells you where they are in the cycle, Rivian, when it comes to their expansion. So they're pretty early on, really, and they only have one product, right? So Tesla started doing all these products gradually over the years. So it's been like 10 years or something like that. Rivian has only one product, right? One truck, as far as I know. Correct me if I'm wrong. And then I think they're trying to like make different versions of the truck, like a Wrangler type. But they do have, actually, that's wrong. They have a second product. Browsing through the news here, where was it? So Ford exits, right? He's trying to exit Rivian. I don't know why they went into the first place, by the way. That was very perplexing. Like, I don't know why they would buy kind of like a competitor. Maybe they try to merge the two companies, but I guess that if that's not happening, like, what's the point? So they're exiting now. They left the board, and also they're trying to sell the stock, which is fine. I would have sold even a lot earlier, obviously, but I wouldn't have gotten in the first place, actually. Not that my opinion matters, but I'm just saying I don't think it's a bit of a weird move. It's kind of like, Toyota buying like Ferrari or something, or a stake of Fiat Ferrari. Actually, I mean, that happens all the time, but my point is that they're competing like directly, okay? Like Rivian truck and Ford truck, the Ford Lightning, they're competing directly, and I don't know, like, is that monopolization tactic? If you have an opinion on it, just let me know, because I'm really interested to know what that move was, what the rationale behind that move was to begin with. All right, so also they're having to raise the price of the vehicles apparently, but the main thing is this: Amazon has an 18% stake in Rivian. So they're trying to basically build trucks, which you can see, or vans rather, for Amazon deliveries, as you can see here. And they already have a small group of them that are on the road and in testing. So I mean, that's cool. If that product picks up, that's actually a pretty good reason to stay invested in the company. I'm just concerned about the production. Like, Tesla had so much issue trying to scale up production quickly, and I don't know if Rivian's gonna have to use other people's facilities or whatnot. I know they're building one in Atlanta, and that's kind of contentious, but they're just now building it, right? Tesla's got all this stuff already built out. So my only point here is that this company is so early in its expansion stage. Like, even if it does well, even if its products just crush it, which I'm a little doubtful about, then they're still got another like 10 years ahead of them before they reach Tesla's scale, production. And who knows if there's going to be so much competition by then. Who knows if they're going to have such a position in the market as they might be envisioned, a year ago, or even now. They might not be well positioned. So you have a lot of competition, way too many electric vehicle companies coming out right now, and a lot of them are going to fail. I have a feeling that Rivian's probably going to be one of them, but don't quote me on that. Please. I'll quote myself 10 years from now, and Rivian's thriving and beating Tesla. So anyway, so they have the Amazon truck. Now van. This truck, first of all, the starting price is really high, like $80,000. If you look at the Lightning, they actually starting at pretty low at $41,768. Of course, that's a shit version though. It's a little bit misleading, because if you look down here, where's the models? Where were they? Oh, they were out here. Sorry, I'm giving you a headache. Oh, pricing, which one to buy? I guess it's not loading. But the different versions of the F-150 actually goes up pretty high. The Rivian R1T has two versions basically, the Explorer and the Adventure. The Adventure is a little bit pricier and that's it, but Ford actually scales up to like 100, I don't know, like $60,000 or something like that. So it's quite expensive for their higher versions. They have maybe 6 versions instead of 2. And past the opening 41,000 on the Lightning, it actually jumps pretty high. But still, just the fact that you can get theoretically, well, practically, actually, you can get kind of a base version for 41,000 thing is going to be a lot more appealing than the starting 79,000 for Rivian. And that's probably going to go up. Anyways, I'm not even going to mention the Hummer here. So I understand that it's a very, it's a luxurious truck. I understand that actually it looks really nice inside, but I'm not really sold on the looks outside personally. So people who care about looks, I don't know if it's trying to appeal like to the tech crowd, to the traditional truck crowd. Inside it looks very traditional truck. Let me see if I can find some photos. All right, 18 photos here. Like the front looks pretty futuristic. It's kind of like an anime character, which I'm not in favor of. I really don't like it. But some people might. But then the rest of the truck kind of looks, the side and back kind of look like normal trucks, and inside it looks pretty normal as well. And by normal, I mean like traditional look. It's got like wood trim, this version anyways, and the seats are pretty simplified. It does have the screens, but it also looks a little bit old fashioned, So I'm not sure who they're trying to appeal to, honestly. Maybe trying to appeal to everybody, but sometimes you end up appealing to nobody. So I really don't like the front. And I think that this is going to be a very slow growing company if it does, it is somewhat successful. Because, first of all, supply issues, right? They're going to struggle probably to supply all their reservations and demand. But even if they do reach that point, I don't think demand is going to be that high. I mean, I have the same argument for a car company like Tesla, actually, too. I think the exponential demand curve is going to flatten pretty quickly. And I don't know if Tesla will ever have like 10% market share of the car company ever. So we'll see. Could be wrong. But the demand side, I think, is people in the EV market are overlooking the demand side. I think it's a major factor in their valuations. So company, burning $6 billion per year right now, trying to build themselves out, but $6 billion is actually quite a bit of, cash to be burning. If we look at the numbers for Ford, let's take a look at their operating income. So this is annual, and I mentioned annual figures in Rivian. So that's about how much they're making, right? That's a company with many more products than Rivian. A company is very well established, very well run, relatively to other car companies. Actually, it lost money in 2020, but 2021 it had 4.52 billion in earnings, whereas Rivian right now is losing more than that per year. Trying to build, investing in itself or whatever. So, where was the operating expense? 11.92 billion. So, so 16 billion gross profit, operating expense 11.92, operating income 4.52. So I guess if Rivian wants to reach 4 numbers, it could afford to spend a couple, double that in spending. But then the revenue line is going to have to just absolutely explode. And at the rate they're going, I don't know if that's going to happen. So for me personally, even at this price point, let's go back to the chart here. Even at this price point, and having come down from 172 billion, I'm sorry, not billions, 172 per stock. I don't know how many billions market cap that was. I think it's like 100 and something billion. down to a market cap of 26 billion. I still wouldn't touch it just because of the risk of duration and competition. I'm just not entirely sure that. Just let me show you the graph here because I had my face shown instead of the graph. Duration and competition, right? I think it's going to take him just as long as Tesla, if not longer, right? Tesla did a very, very good job expanding itself, and Rivian will have to like duplicate that. And I don't know if they'll be able to. And two, the demand, I don't know if it's going to be there. I like that they're trying to get into other companies' pockets, like Amazon, and try to build fleets for other companies, like transportation companies. Tesla's trying to get into the trucking as well. Like the Mack truck, the big ones, the semis, and Rivian, I think has a shot to get in there. I think that's where a lot of the money is made too, because these trucks are expensive, and they're needed because shipping is a really big deal nowadays. I mean, it always was a big deal, but nowadays even more big deal, especially trucking, because you need to get these stuff, you need to get things transferred from house to house, and I think the Amazon vans are a good first step, but I don't know. I mean, I think it's going to be a struggle. I don't know if this company is going to be profitable anytime soon, and I'm talking like years. And why wait? I mean, yeah, you can get into a good price early here, but that's like, I'm thinking like 10 years down the road, maybe. And it's a maybe. You can even lose your money. So the money can be sitting on the sidelines doing nothing for like 10 years for a chance at reward. And what? Okay, maybe it goes to 200 billion market cap, let's say. And it's 26 now, so that's 10 times your money in 10 years, but the risk you're taking, it's like, I think it's too big. I don't think it's gonna happen. And who knows what they're gonna do with their share counts too. So they are very cashed up though, I'll give them that. So if you see here in the balance sheet, let's just go to the simple version here. Net cash $14 billion, so they can last for a while. They can burn through this money for quite some time producing, so they're not going to go broke, right? They're not going to go broke, but I'm just concerned about the sustainability, viability of the future of this company. So anyway, that's my take on Rivian. I wouldn't touch it. Let me know if you like the looks. I'm just really interested in what you think about the looks. Personally, I'm not hot for it at all, but I want to know what you guys think, because I could be wrong, right? My personal taste could be wrong. So anyway, let me know. I'd be interested if you like Rivian. Peace. The R1T, I think. Peace out.